In Module 1, we built a RAG pipeline with 5 recipes, and it worked well. The queries came back with grounded answers, but that was clean and tiny data. Real documents, PDFs, tables, headers, footnotes, multi-column layouts are a completely different problem. If your text extraction butchers those, your embeddings are wrong, your retrieval is wrong, and your answers are wrong. Today, we fix that. By the end of this video, you will know how to turn a massive PDF into chunks that actually retrieve well, and you will have the evaluation framework to prove which chunk size works best. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, the foundations we are learning in this course are the same ones behind Jupyter, app I built to help people find AI jobs. The retrieval concepts we are covering today are what the Jupyter's chat interface is built on. If you are looking for AI jobs in the United States or Canada, check the Jupyter. The link is in the description. All right, let's keep building. Here's what most people get wrong about RAG. They jump straight to the embeddings and vector database and skip the most important part, parsing. PDFs look structured to a human, but under the hood, they're just precisioned characters. A basic text extractor turns clean tables into unreadable garbage. If parsing is bad, everything after is bad. Once you have clean text, you need to chunk it. Small chunks give you the precision, tight relevance to the query, but they lose context. Large chunks preserve context. Entire sections stay together. But retrieval gets fussier. There is no universal right answer. It all depends on your data. Here's a strong default. Page level chunking with a token limit and overlap. Respect page boundaries. They are the natural breaks the author created. Cap each chunk with a token limit and add 15% overlap at the boundaries so nothing gets lost. NVIDIA tested these combinations and found it works well across a range of PDFs. That is all the theory you need. Let me show you the problem, the fix. Then I will walk you through a proper experiment to find the right chunk size. Here's the notebook. If you want to follow along, grab it from the Discord link in the description. Same as Module 1, you can run this for free in Google Colab. Same OpenAI API key setup. If you haven't done that, go watch Module 1 first. I walk through the entire process there, including how to get free API credits. This notebook also requires the Llama Cloud API key for the document parsing step. Go to Cloud Llama Index AI and sign up. You get free plan with 10,000 credits. Click API keys on the left, then generate the new key and copy the key, paste into the Colab secrets just like the OpenAI key. Both keys are loaded. We also upload our test PDF, the NPU X1000 white paper.pdf. The NPU X1000 series technical white paper is fictional. It has specific tables, benchmark tables, and technical descriptions. The kind of documents punish the bad parsing. We're using the tick token 100K base, the same tokenizer used by text embedding 3 small and GPT-4o models. So our token counts are accurate to what the models actually see. Let's get to the code. This style uses PyMuPDF, what most people reach for when they need to extract text from PDF. It is fast, it is free, and it works great for simple documents. Look at this output. The spec table comes out as a flat list. SKU, segment, pick integer 8, TDP, MSRP, each on their own line. Then the values dumped below with no row structure. X1000 base, Edge IoT, 15 tops, 5W, $99, or just stacked vertically. Same thing with memory subsystem table. L1 cache, 256 kilobytes. Which values belongs to which variant? You cannot tell. The table data is here, but the structure makes it meaningful. It's destroyed. If you try to answer what is the memory bandwidth of this X1000 Ultra, from this text, you would be guessing. If you chunk this text, your retrieval would be completely unreliable on any structured question. The parsing broke it before chunking even had a chance. So let's fix it. Llama Cloud Parse is a parsing service that understands the document layouts and preserves table structure as clean markdown. This cell takes 30 seconds to a minute with the API call. The output of the parsing with 15 pages extracted, about 23,569 characters of clean text. Now look at the difference. The same content, PyMuPDF, completely mango, is preserved here as structured markdown. Pipe delimited columns, aligned headers, row relationships intact. That is text you can actually retrieve from. That is the difference parsing quality makes. And it is the most single single important step the entire pipeline. Now that we have clean text, let's talk about chunking. The most common beginner approach is the fixed chunking. Just split every n characters. It is fast but destroys the context. We have 93 chunks at 256 characters each. And look at where the cuts happen. The chunker just counts to 256 characters and chops. The first boundary ends with S and chunk 2 starts with KU. It cut the word SKU right in the table header. The second boundary, the chunk 2 ends with DAT and chunk 3 starts with a center edge. It slides the data center edge right in the middle of the row. And the third one cuts the efficiency across 2 chunks, mid-word, mid-sentence. If your retrieval pulls back these fragments, you get half a dot with no context. This is why fixed-size character chunking is bad default. It has no awareness of the document structure. It just counts characters and chops. Here's the better approach: page-level chunking with token limits and overlap. Let me walk through the logic. The function does 3 things. First, it takes each page as a natural chunk boundary. If a page fits within a token limit, it stays as one chunk. If a page is too long, it splits at a paragraph boundaries, not mid-sentence. And when it does split, it takes 15% of previous chunks as overlap. So nothing at the boundary is lost. 36 total chunks, averaging 194 tokens each, with 21 of those chunks containing overlap content. Notice how we went from 93 chunks down to 36. Now, here's the payoff. Same content, 2 strategies. On the left, naive fixed-size chunking. It splits the efficiency in half. On the right, page-level chunking. On the exact same page, efficiency stays intact. The split happened at a paragraph boundary, and the next chunk carries overlap forward, so no context is lost. 93 naive chunks down to 36. No broken words, no split tables. That is the difference. Before we pick the chunk size to test, let's look at the data. 15 pages in total. Average page is 450 tokens. Median is 478. The shortest page is 163 tokens. The longest is 803 tokens. Testing. 128 tokens will split almost every page, and 256 will split most of them. 512 will keep more pages intact. All 3 are worth testing. If your page averaged 1,000 tokens, testing 128 would break everything into lots of tiny pieces. Always look at your data before picking the sizes. Now, the experiment. We're going to test 3 standard chunk size: 128, 256, and 512, all with 15% overlap, and we're going to evaluate them on hard queries using LLM-as-Judge. We have 128 tokens with 19 overlap. That gives us total chunks 70. 256 tokens with 38 tokens overlap gives us 36 chunks. 512 tokens with overlap 76 gives us 19 chunks. Look at the difference: 70 chunks versus 19. More chunks means more granular retrievals, but more fragments. Fewer chunks means more context, but fuzzier retrievals. Now we index all 3 into the Middleverse vector database, and each chunk size gets its own collection. 3 collections graded: chunks 128, 70 chunks, chunks 256, 36 chunks, chunks 512, 19 chunks, all indexed and ready for retrieval. Here are the evaluation functions, and we use LLM-as-Judge approach. For each query, we retrieve top 3 chunks, generate a response, and then score it on 2 dimensions: the faithfulness and relevancy. And each score is 0, 0.5, or 1. Faithfulness measures whether the response contradicts the true answers. Relevancy measures whether it actually addresses the questions. This is the key design decision. We're not testing with easy questions. Easy questions would give us all identical scores across all 3 sizes, and we would learn nothing. We have 5 specifically designed queries. Multi-hub: what is the performance per watt? Efficiency x 1000 ultra in hops per watt. That requires combining 2 values from the same row. Comparison: how much more memory bandwidth does the ultra have compared to the base? And you need to find and compare across rows. Inference type: you have to reason from the power consumption data. Multi-table, which needs information from 2 different tables. Context dependent: the chunk has to include both the header and the list items. These are the kinds of questions that chunk size actually matters. This cell makes 45 LLM calls. 5 queries times 3 chunk sizes gives 15 generation calls plus 2 judge calls each for faithfulness and relevancy. Look at the per query result. The first query, all three sizes score perfectly. 1.0 faithfulness, 1.0 relevancy across the board. That is an easier query where the answer sits in the same table row. But now, look at the multi-table query. Throughput and bandwidth. For the X1000 Pro, 128 tokens gets 0.5 faithfulness and 0.5 relevancy. 256 and 512 both drop to 0. And the Model Zoo query, 128 gets the relevancy correct, but faithfulness drops. The hard queries are where the chunk size separation shows up. Here's the summary. 128 tokens, average faithfulness 0.7, 0.9 average relevancy, combined score 0.8, 256 tokens, average faithfulness 0.3, average relevancy 0.8, combined score 0.55, 512 tokens 0.5, average faithfulness 0.6, average relevancy, the combined score 0.55. For this document, 128 tokens wins. The smaller chunks gives more precise retrieval on the hard queries. But notice, it is not just about raw score. 128 tokens means 70 chunks versus 19 chunks for 512 tokens. You are trading off the storage and the retrieval cost against answer quality. The takeaway is not always use this number. The takeaway is test on hard queries with your own data. The right chunk size depends on your document structure, your query patterns, and what trade-offs you are willing to make. So one line remember from today, no chunking strategies fix bad extraction. Get the parsing right first, then test chunk sizes on hard queries with your own data. Here's the problem, even with the perfect chunks, if the user's query is vague, your retrieval will struggle. Module 3 is query transformation, rewriting queries so they can actually match your chunks. If you want to run today's notebook, join the Discord, link in the description. Hit subscribe so you don't miss Module 3. And if you are looking for AI jobs, check out Jupyter, link below. I will see you in the next one.